that proverb, familiarity breeds contempt? Yeah, it's true. Because it's talking about that extensive knowledge or, close association with someone or something that leads to a loss of respect for that thing or that someone. There's a story in Mark chapter 14 that demonstrates this thing of familiarity. Mark 14 verse 3 to 9, it reads, "And while he was at Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, as he was reclining at table, a woman with an alabaster flask of ointment of pure nard, very costly. She broke the flask and poured it over his head. There were some who said to themselves indignantly, 'Why was this ointment wasted like that? For this ointment could have been sold for more than 300 denarii and given to the poor.' And they scolded her. But Jesus said, 'Leave her alone. Why do you trouble her? She has done a beautiful thing to me, for you always have the poor with you, and whenever you want, you can do good for them. But you will not always have me. She has done what she could. She has anointed my body beforehand for burial, and truly I say to you, wherever the gospel is proclaimed in the whole world, what she has done will be told in memory of her.'" Wow. You see, they had seen him on ordinary days when nothing spectacular was happening, just chilling, he's hungry. They saw how he looked when he was tired. They knew him just as an ordinary guy. They would have conversations because it's not every time that things were spectacular, that wherever Jesus went, like people are falling over and all of that. Some days were just ordinary, and they got used to that. They got used to that. They got used to that. The wonder that once caused chills up the spine when in the presence of Jesus, it had disappeared. That trembling of the heart where the heart is burning because you're in the presence of someone great, in the very presence of the living God, it had dwindled down. They had so much access to the miraculous that the wonder of it no longer was a big deal. Then all of a sudden, as they were in that place, a woman comes and she enters the place and everything changes. She was grateful for what Christ had done. Luke kind of gives us some details in the 8th chapter. He says, this Mary Magdalene, the woman who entered this place, she had had 7 demons that were tormenting her, out of whom had come 7 demons. Her life was a mess. Her life, she wasn't in her right mind. She wasn't living life to the optimum. And now Christ comes into her life and everything changes. She never lost the wonder of his deliverance. May we never get used to Jesus. May we never get used to being saved. That being in his presence is not a big deal. Like coming to church is just, a ritual, a thing that we do. Salvation is a big deal. For you to be called a child of God, it's a big deal. Hallelujah. You ought to give him praise and never ever lose the wonder.